Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. It is good to have you here. Welcome to Bailey Nectar Cat on the Prowl, where we will be creating my pattern of a cape using the Duchess Lace Stitch. I uploaded a stitch tutorial yesterday on how to do it. There were two versions of it. One was a one row repeat. The other was a 2-row repeat. And I'm pretty sure that you can't tell the difference between the two. They pretty much look the same. In this pattern, we will be using the 1-row repeat instead of the 2. It's just a lot easier and goes a whole lot quicker. Welcome, enjoy. It's good to have you here. I'm so glad you're joining me today. How are you doing today, love? What's in your cup? What's on your hook? What's in your cup and what's on your hook? I have water. I've been drinking an awful lot of water and been working on the cape. Cape pattern. I am not 100% up to par today, guys. Just going to warn you in advance. But hopefully I'm going to get you to a point where you can get started. I'm going to go over the materials again. And I'm going to bring you to a certain point, hopefully, where you can continue to work on this. And then I will put out a tutorial again in the next couple of days, how to get to where it's just that repeat of the pattern. Nothing exciting there, Joy? Yeah, I'd like to say it's quiet here. It's not. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the building, repairs, stuff, garbage trucks, dogs. And I am really, really not up to a lot today. I was mentioning I put out a stitch tutorial for the pattern to make this cape yesterday. I did 2 swatches in that video. One was the 1-row repeat. The other was a 2-row repeat. And like I said, there's like no difference. Absolutely no difference. So I decided I was going to go with the 1-row repeat. I'll be okay. I need to relax my back and hip. Yeah, weather is not being very nice to me. This is what we are making, in case you haven't already seen. Welcome in Fish Guy Ranch. It's good to have you here. This is what we are making. It is a cape. This is as far as I have gotten with it. The row is long. It's almost like knitting a small blanket, to be honest with you, in case you're wondering how long it is going to take. The idea is it's going to have a high collar. I can just kind of like do that just to give you an idea. Work with mom. All right, there we go. So I have 2 stitch markers. Here are you? There you are. And no, hold the other end without getting hooked into the neck, into the earrings. All right. So the idea is you're going to have a high collar. And this is where your first clasp is going to go. And then we're going to do some more double crochets. And then we're going to get into another few rows. And then it's just going to continue the pattern. So this is as far as I've got. I'm just going to continue doing this now. I have decided I'm going to use these types of clips. Let's see if I can get that where it's not like right about maybe there. They're both silver on both ends, and they just do that. So I'm probably that's sit there. And then you're going to put them strategically going down. All right. So that's basically what we're going to do. Welcome in, Jen. It's good to have you here. Good to have both of you ladies here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So that is what we are working on. I am going to try to get you to the point where we stop with the increased rows of the half double crochets at least. I'm going to put everything, I'm going to write it out and put it into the description box once this video uploads. And I'm more with it. But for now, let's just go through what we're using. For my project, I have decided to go with a yarn by Mary Maxim. It does not have to be the yarn that I am using. It could be the yarn of your choice. This one is Mary Maxim. I am not affiliated with Mary Maxim. Just saying. Mary Maxim, and it's a pound of sparkle. And as you can see, it's pretty sparkly. It's really, really pretty. And it is in the color teal. It is a 4-weight yarn. It is 1,067 yards in this ball. 4-weight, and it is 98% acrylic, premium acrylic. I don't know what the difference is, and 2% polyester. So that is what I am using. This is what I have created so far. And as you can see, now it has started to repeat. So we have to go from the very top here of the collar to there with repeat rows. But in between, we're going to incorporate that stitch as well. Welcome in, Mama Sue. It's good to have you here. How is everybody liking what they're seeing? Welcome in, Jennifer. I said welcome in, enjoy. Yes. All right. So that is what I am using. I will probably stiffen up the neck so this way it kind of does stand up. I don't know if I'm going to stiffen it up using a fur, but yeah, we'll see. Or just crocheting in an extra layer using the same yarn, or maybe a Eversoft yarn or Caron Simply Soft. Make it nice and soft around the neck. Yes. All right. So, oh sweet Jesus, you will need that. That was a pound of. I have 2 just to be on the safe side. I think I'll probably end up having to go into the second pound of love. I don't believe I will be needing all 1,670 yards of that 1 pound, but that is where we are going. So that's 2 1-pounders, probably not using both, of a 4-weight. I'm using a teal colored sparkly pound of love by sparkly yarn, pound of love by Mary Max. Sweet Mother of God. Yes. All right. The clasps I'm using, you do not have to use these clasps. I'm using those. You can use buttons, stitch markers for sure, because when we go into the pattern from an increase of half double crochets, you are going to need, for the first time going around, to mark your chain 1, because it will actually count as your first chain, and that's going to be the last chain as you're coming back, where you're going to do a double crochet. It's going to be the first and only time, but it's a good idea to mark that one single, chain 1 turn, because you need that chain 1. All right, so stitch markers, of course, a pair of scissors, a darning needle, for sewing in your ends, you're going to need a tape measure. Stitch pattern tutorial was put out yesterday. One is a 1-row repeat, the other is a 2-row repeat. Like I said, no difference really. If you look, there's like, seriously, you cannot tell the difference. Really, they both look exactly the same. And the stitch that the one we are using is the 1-row repeat, the one where we will be going under the loops, under the chain 3, and not into the chain 3 on 1 row and then under in the second. All right, welcome in, Rachel. I have a tape measure, and what I did was I measured around my neck to approximately this point, because that is where I wanted the first row of the collar to end, and just below that is where the first clasp is going to go. So it gives you that nice high back neck. So I measured for myself 16 inches going around, and chained a length of chains equaling the 16 inches. I was trying to keep it in multiples of 3. So if you're on or off by 1 or 2 or whatever, it really doesn't matter. If you're measuring a 17 chain for a 17-inch neck, etc., 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 trying to keep it in multiples of 3, preferably when you reach that end of the chain. For the 16-inch, I did a total of 42 chains plus 1. And then you're just going to do a second row of 42 chains. So you're just going to repeat what you did in row 1, which is a half double crochet. You're only going to go into the second chain from the hook, mark your first one, and you're going to do half double crochets along. You should still have 42. You're going to turn, you're going to repeat that one more time. In row 3, you're going to increase it. You're going to do 2 half double crochets into the first, and then you're going to half double crochet into the next 20. Then you're going to place 2 half double crochets into the 21st chain. That is approximately halfway between the 42. Then you're going to place 1 half double crochet in the last chains remaining until you reach the end, placing 2 half double crochets into that last stitch. At the end of row 3, you will have a total of 45. You're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to pretty much do the same thing in row 4. 2 half double crochets into the first, 1 half double crochet into the next 21. In the 22nd, you're going to place 2 half double crochets, then again into the next 21 chains, 1, and then placing 2 into the last, again, 48. You're going to just keep repeating that, and the ideal is each one you're going to increase. So I ended up with 48 half double crochets in row 4. In row 5, I want to end up with 51. Row 6, I want to end up with 54. So each one you're increasing 3 stitches. You're going to continue doing that until row 11, which is when you will have 69, and then in row 12, your goal is to reach 81. Again, I'll put that all down in the description box, guys. I'm really, really sorry. I didn't want to disappoint you by not coming up today. Welcome in, Lashira. Welcome in, Rachel. I hope I said welcome in, Rachel. Welcome in, Granny D. Welcome in, Sarah. Did I miss anybody? I hope not. I'm keeping it very short today because I am not in my A game, so I apologize, but I wanted to get you all started. So what I've done is I've got you up until row 12, where you want to go from 69 to 81, and then you're going to do a repeat for row 13 equaling 81, and then you're going to start into the pattern. But for now, that gives you a start, and I will come up with how to do everything up until that point, including where I've achieved, and I will get that up into a video, I promise, and upload it so that you can all watch it as a tutorial and see what I'm doing. Like I said, I gave you the list materials, that things that you're going to need, some of the measurements, plus how to get started. Once again, for a 16-inch neck, which was measuring pretty much collarbone to collarbone, but not totally going, because the first clip will get placed there, causing the collar to stand up. And then it was increased rows until you get to 81. I will get that video up, I promise. Until then, everybody, I seriously need to, I need to go and put some ease to a pain. And you don't want to know where that pain is. But please keep smiling, everybody. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. And we will see you shortly. I promise I'll get a tutorial right up to the point where I am, and it's just you're repeating and repeating with exact numbers. All right, everybody. So until then, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you all for coming in. It's been a joy having you here. Take care, everybody.